Because if it is still going to be bad when I've halved the bit rate and all of that stuff, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. So, Seiru, if you can run over there and just take a look at it and see how it looks over there. And type in the chat as well. I just want to see if people can type in the chat over there. Shoot. Hope people can actually see this here. Okay, well, let's try. Let's keep going and see what happens here. Hopefully it's better because I lowered the quality on everything. Okay, cool. I see your text over there. Thank you for that. But yeah, so I've lowered the quality on everything at this point. So fingers crossed. Okay, let's do this. All right, back to CEO. So moving on from Fatal Fury, anything else that I specifically, I mean, I know there's one thing I really, really want to talk about. And it's funny because this is, well, Super Turbo, since I got to do top 8 at Super Turbo, fascinating tournament. It was like the return of Damn Die. We haven't seen Damn Die in like years. And he's obviously one of the best Super Turbo players from the second generation of Super Turbo players. And he came back. He says he hasn't played like a fighting game in like years, but he just came for fun. And he competed and still got second place. So Damn Die, pretty dang good. However, the person that he lost to was a player named Zombie Damage. Zombie Damage. And this is a player who's 20 years old, uses Fei Long, and has only played on Fightcade. He basically, what is the term, like sharpened his, what is it, he cut his, I don't know, like he got really good on Fightcade. And literally this weekend was the first time he's ever been to an offline and he has ever touched an arcade cabinet. This was the first time he's actually cut his teeth. There you go. Thank you, Ruzam. Yeah. This is the first time he's ever used an arcade cabinet. Now, fortunately, on Fightcade, he uses joystick because somebody that he played with is like, you need to learn joystick so you can like go to these events. And so, yeah, he switched to joystick, and he said it took him a little bit, but he just got used to it pretty fast on the cabinet, and he was doing just fine. So, yeah, like he came out, and he's the one who sent Damn Die to losers, and Damn Die literally said, like, if I run into him again, I don't know what I can do differently. He was like, I don't know how to beat him. And they got into grand finals, and Damn Die did not reset the bracket, if I'm not mistaken, but he came very, very close. And he even said, he was like, I think if I reset the bracket, I could have won the tournament because he got a better idea of what was going on. But again, first place to a 20-year-old, right? I talked about Crime and Not Pedro being 14 and 19, and now this 20-year-old kid from out of nowhere kills everybody with Fei Long, a character that is, you know, not considered one of the strongest. He has gone up in tiers, though. Since the heydays of ST, people have considered Fei Long stronger and stronger. And he clearly knew all of the high-level Fei Long stuff. So it's not just like he's this kid that came out of nowhere. Like, he definitely did his research. And he knew all the crazy things to do with the character, which was really, really impressive. So shout-outs to him. Zombie Damage for getting first place here. Incredible play, and I'm really happy to see young players still showing up. I mean, honestly, it's not even just weird buttons. The chicken wing, man, like the chicken wing is just really hard to do, but if you get used to doing it, like, it just has the weirdest properties. Like, you know, I'm still not exactly sure how it works. It has invul frames and like kind of, but like the hitbox hurtbox on it is super crazy. It's wild, man. It's absolutely wild. No, Cammy is still the worst. Cammy is still the worst character in the game. Dan FNP. And I don't say that because I'm like, I need to downplay this character. It's just like, there's just no one who can be lower than her. Like, there just isn't, right? And everyone who argues with me like, Cammy's not the worst. Dude, you go to Japan, you watch some tournaments, and there's invariably going to be that tournament where Komoda Blanca kills everybody and, like, gets second or first place, or Pony Zangief comes around and spinning pile drives everybody to death, even in, like, super lopsided matches like Honda and stuff like that. I have never seen a Japanese tournament where a Cammy player just washes everybody. It's just never happened. Every time Cammy wins tournaments, it's either in Europe or it's in the US or whatever, you know, like, I know, like, I think one time a Cammy player went out to Japan and did pretty decently, but, like, you watch all those old classic footages of all those old Japanese tournaments, and, like, I feel like Cammy never, ever, you never get to see anything crazy out of Cammy. So that, to me, shows that she's the worst character. And yes, I think Super Turbo is a horribly balanced game. I can't explain it. I can't explain it, but I think ST is like one of the worst balanced Street Fighter games, but anyone can win given the circumstances. Again, the damage is really high. Cammy can stun really easily, so it's just like, anything wrong happens and Cammy can win, right? But it's like, it's still really lopsided. Again, when I go to Hey Arcade and play, and they all play Nakamura, who is one of the best Cammy players in the world at Hey Arcade. And so when I showed up to Hey Arcade and played Cammy, it was not a pretty... They knew every goddamn trick. Everything I tried to do that is like a really good Cammy trick, they already knew it. And so, like, I couldn't get shit done. And I've always said, the biggest problem with Cammy is that in order to beat Cammy, and again, this is a Super Turbo thing, this is what classic fighting games was more like. It's really matchup knowledge based, right? So, like, I can beat a Guile if the Guile doesn't know how to fight Cammy. But if you know the one thing that ruins Cammy's life in Super Turbo, that match turns into an 8-2. Like, if you don't know one thing about that match, it might be 6-4. But as soon as you learn one thing, this happened when I fought John Choi a while ago, and I was like, shit, what the hell do I do? And then when I went to Hey Arcade and I fought Kotaka Shoten, sure enough, he was doing it too. And so it was just like, oh, and then everything died. So it was just horrible, horrible, horrible. No, Cammy spin knuckle in that game is like the dumbest and most worthless move in... Nobody who does spin knuckle in Super Turbo does it on purpose. If you ever see a spin knuckle in Super Turbo, it was an accident. I guarantee you. Not only does it have the dumbest input that overlaps with the hooligan throw, so you keep getting it when you don't want to... When you want a hooligan and you get a spin knuckle instead. But that move is also just garbage because it'll go through a fireball and then you can just murder her while she's just sitting there. It's terrible. The input of it is back, down, back, forward, plus punch. Not a half circle. It's back, down, back, forward, plus punch. And when you use that input, it still doesn't come out. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. And it drives me nuts. Any case, Super Turbo was definitely interesting that way. And then CVS 2? CVS 2? Oh boy. Man, so CVS 2 was like the most entertaining thing ever. Most entertaining thing ever, because Justin made top 8. On winner side, he was supposed to be scheduled to commentate with me. But because he made top 8, he was like, all right, hey, can I commentate myself live while I play? And they were like, all right. And Justin's thinking about the content. He's doing a lot of things for content right now. And so the thing is, he had been playing Ratio 4 Sagat the entire tournament. Ratio 4 Sagat. Ratio 4, in case you guys don't know, in CVS 2, you can pick a team, and as long as their ratios add up to 4 or less, you can make that team. So you can have 2 ratio 2s. You can have a ratio 1 and a 3. You can have a 1, 1, and a 2. They don't allow 1, 1, 1, 1 anymore, thank God. Or you can just do 1 ratio 4 character. And nobody ever does that because it's not good. Because Bison, if he does paint the fence on you, will do just as much damage to you as anybody else, because min scaling is the same for every ratio. So even if you're a ratio 1 character, it's going to be 100 points of damage every hit on this. So if he hits 5 times with the fierce paint the fence, it's 500, 500, 500, 500. But that's the minimum scaling. So even on ratio 4, you're doing 500, 500, 500, 500. And so, like, it's just going to do a ton of damage. So ratio 4 is not very good. So Justin's kind of trolling, doing things for content. First person he plays is Eric Turbo. And he's commentating while playing and everything like that. And I'll tell you, Eric did not look pleased about this. And I've since learned that some other people were not particularly happy about this, almost kind of feeling like it was being turned more into a joke, from like, oh, I'm doing this for content kind of thing. But, I don't know, like, I was having a good time listening to Justin, like, talk about things, and he's just yelling at me and stuff and all these things, and I thought it was kind of entertaining. Well, Boss is a different story here. So he won his matchup. Justin won his matchup, and then Boss won his matchup. So they fought in winners finals. And so Justin was commentating with me on all the other matches, and then he was like, "All right, James, I gotta go play my match against Boss." So they hand him his microphone thing, so he puts on his shirt and he walks out there, and as he sits down, and Boss is mic'd up all of a sudden. Like, what? Like, all of a sudden, Boss was mic'd up. And so now we had both of the players mic'd up, like, talking shit to each other. And, like, I start, like, because they could hear me through the speakers, and I could just hear them through my headset. And so, like, I start, like, trolling some of them. And, yeah, so at one point of time, I said something to Boss, and Boss was just like, "Shut up, James." And I was like, and I stopped talking, dude. Oh my God. Oh, so funny. But yeah, that's why some people are like Muffin Man saying, "Shut up, James" is a new core memory for me. Oh my God. Yeah, it was pretty, oh my God. The bit rate is lower than the recommended bit rate. Jesus Christ, YouTube. Oh my God. All right, I'll do that. I'll up the bit rate again if I actually try to restart the YouTube stream again. But yeah, they were like self-commentating their matches, and ratio 4 Sagat, like Justin, like at one point in time, I think he missed something. He should have sent Boss to losers bracket and been in grand finals, but like he dropped something and he lost, and he's like, you were scared, Boss. And we were all talking about the story that Boss is pretty much has a perfect record for all CVS 2 tournaments that he's come out for in the US. Like, I think he's 100% because he's probably like the best CVS 2 player ever, like on the planet, or at least, he's for sure in the top 3, right? Like, he's clearly one of the best. And so Justin goes back in the losers bracket, fights Eric again, but you know, they were having a little more good time here. And then Justin makes it back into grand finals, and he just keeps using the ratio for Sagat. And I don't, dude, like, if you want to know, like, if you want a great example of just how good Justin Wong is, if you watch what he did to Boss's Yamazaki, like, I swear it was like, you know, like 3 out of the 4 matches, like, Justin just, or at least like 80% of the matches they fought, like, Justin slaughtered Boss's Yamazaki. It was like ridiculous. Right, so he got put in the losers by John Choi, but he still came back and won. But man, Justin reset the bracket with ratio for Sagat. And Justin was even saying that they were playing CVS2 casually, like earlier in the week. And when Justin was using his regular team, Boss was just absolutely destroying him. Justin's like, yeah, I couldn't touch him. And so somehow this ratio for Sagat, like, was working. And it's the same kind of situation that we see all the time. People have asked me about why did Blas do so well at Capcom Cup? And it's because a lot of people were like, whoa, he's killing everybody. I don't want to be the next person. And so you start playing this mentality that you're playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. This kind of weird thought, like, I don't want to be the next victim of this, starts creeping in the back of your head. I mean, again, we've been talking about Lashar. Lashar lost to Blas at Capcom Cup, right? Like, it's just, it's crazy, but like, mental state is so important in a lot of this. And in that ST tournament, I felt like it was the same thing. Everyone was like, I don't want to be the next person to lose to Zombie Damage. If Zombie Damage comes back to another tournament, I think he won't do as, like, I mean, he clean sweeped everybody, right? Until Damn died towards the end. But, like, I don't think it will be as dominant in the future. Not because we all figured him out, is because now when he shows up, we're like, oh, God, it's him. He already won, so I'm just going to fight him. And it's going to be less of the, shoot, I don't want to lose to him. I don't want, like, Fight Kid comes out of nowhere. I don't want to be that guy. And so I think Boss actually got hit by that fighting against Justin's ratio for Sagat. I have never seen Boss drop the paint the fence custom combo with Bison. And even when he does, it's usually like, blah, 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 fierce, blah, 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 blah. And he's just back into it. But one time he hit Justin, he was like, paint the fierce. And then it just like didn't happen. Oh, okay, it might be a CFC2 thing. Okay. Okay, I see. Okay, so it might just be a problem for the speed difference. Got it, makes sense. Okay. But regardless, Boss was sweating. And there were times where it felt like, yeah, Justin was going to win. And he had to make the craziest comeback after Boss's Yamazaki finally started doing work. And then Justin just destroyed Bison, who was the problem the whole time. But then this time he beat him. And so it was just down to the last characters in the very last game. And Boss did actually end up winning. So Boss did win, and he looked so relieved. He was just like, and by the last match, neither player was talking in their microphones anymore. Like, I was just sitting back, enjoying listening to them talk to each other and just kind of trolling each other while they were playing. But by the time it started getting closer and closer to the end, they just stopped talking. So I was just like, okay, well, I better start talking. And so, like, I started actually talking a lot more afterwards. But I thought it was a blast. I thought it was so fun. And I had a great time there. A lot of people said, oh, I did a great job helping hold it all together. I felt like I didn't do anything. But it was so entertaining. And it was just even though Justin was using ratio for Sagat, like, there was no point in time where it ever felt like Justin was just goofing around. Like, he was trying to win. And I know part of him is actually, like, legit really sad that he didn't win. But, you know, Justin was able to shake it off, so. A barrel of fun. God, when did I said something like that at one point in time, Scope? I don't remember. Oh, man. But, I mean, it was really cool, too, because while Boss was playing Alpha 3, oh, yeah, that's right. It was Power Stone. That's right. That's right. Sorry. Oh, man. But, I mean, at that point in time, he called Silent Scope up. He was like, hey, let's play an exhibition match while we wait for Boss. And, you know, Justin did his thing. He was promoting all of Silent Scope's wonderful CVS2 content. So please check out Silent Scope 88 on YouTube. He's got all these combo trials and educational videos, like, you know, like all the different grooves. He teaches you the grooves, like, you know, C groove 101, P groove 101, etc., etc. So yeah, definitely check that out. But honestly, like, I thought it was great. I don't know what, like, Silent Scope, what, like, if you thought it was really cool or funny, or if you felt like there was an element of it that it seems like he was kind of like making a mockery of CVS2, because I've definitely seen that that sentiment from one or two people. I thought it was fun. I thought it was great. I thought it was very high level, and honestly, I feel like if Justin went with his normal team, I think he would have did worse. To be honest with you, I think it would have did worse. But to me, interestingly enough, hang on a second. YouTube is freaking out again. I am going to try to restart the stream one more time by setting the bit rate a little bit higher to what YouTube wants it. Give me 1 second.